And good morning. It is just a little after 4 a.m. and if you're getting awakened by the weather this morning, pretty rough weather going on outside. We have a tornado warning that has been issued south of Meridian, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Lauderdale County and also Kemper County. Let's pull up radar and go to what we know this morning so far. Let's start here at Lauderdale County, and then we'll ease our way down. Now, the entire area, and we'll turn radar off, is under a tornado watch until 10 a.m. this morning. The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Kemper and northern Lauderdale until 4:45. It's going to be near NAS Meridian, passing there now through Lauderdale about right now as well, and then into the Porterville area around 4:20 this morning. Just a few moments ago that was issued. This all sort of happened at the same time when this yellow area here that we see fired off. It then went into a tornado warning and then also a severe thunderstorm warning rather quickly. Here's what we have at this point as we move into this. A tornado warning is in effect for Jasper County, the southern portion there. A few moments ago at 4:10, the National Weather Service found a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado that was over Stringer, or 9 miles south of Bay Springs, and it is moving to the east at 45 miles an hour. This will be near Heidelberg within probably 15 minutes from now. So if you're in that area, Stafford Springs, you need to be prepared. Now, let's back out of this and take a look at what we've got. Tornado warning here in this south end. Now, around Taylorsville, we also have some special weather statements that we'll get into in a minute. And as you can tell, this is moving to the northeast. So if you are in Clark County watching me, go ahead and get prepared. Most likely this could ease over into the next county. And again, this will, let's look at this. This warning is until 5 a.m. We're sitting now, that is some 48 minutes from now that we're going to have this tornado warning still lingering here. And as you'll see down in this area here, it's a complete line. So we've got a morning filled with the weather at this point. We're watching all this carefully. We have showers, heavy rain that are getting ready to move into the Scott County area, which will be followed by Newton as well. Bay Springs, all get ready for this area, Newton as well. Let's start at the top and work our way down. And good morning to everybody. I do hope you're feeling well. Let's look at Lauderdale County where this is. This started in the West Lauderdale area and is moving rather quickly here across, and as it makes its way into the northern portion of Lauderdale County. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning this morning, and it will be into effect until 4:45. Right now, the line is from right here from Arkadelphia Baptist Church, and this will go southward along the line of North Lauderdale Water Association, and this will cross Highway 39. And we'll look at this. Right here is going to be Old Country Club, and this is going to be Northeast Elementary, about right along in there, just shy of reaching Confederate Drive where it comes out on Highway 39. Right there is where the line is for this thunderstorm warning, and then it goes due east across the county, taking in Dalewood and into the county line. Just that extremely northern portion of Lauderdale County that's involved in this. And this goes in and stops short. This will go up to the Pulpwood Yard in Porterville, the old Pulpwood Yard there, where the bridge goes across Highway 45 is where that is, just north of the Chicken Shack. We'll call that roughly 2 miles from Point A from the Chicken Shack northward. Now, we have a lot of heavy rain that is pouring down in Scuba right now. That area not affected by this severe thunderstorm. As we back down and take a look at the rest of Lauderdale County, light showers moving in to this corner here, and it's going to be a lot. We want to get everybody in Stonewall ready for this as this storm approaches. It has not been fired off for Clark County, but if you're watching us from Clark County, be prepared in the next little bit, especially the Pachuta area. All right, let's take a look at our points of what we've got this morning. This will be at Paulding within 23 minutes. Of course, that'll be right there at the courthouse as this goes across. We rate this storm a 2.6 out of a 10. And, of course, if you look at a score of 1 to 10, a 2.6 is not that big, but enough to be concerned about this. We have a second leg of the storm that will be at Pachuta in 30 minutes as we look at this. And if it follows its path there, this will cross Highway 59 and then right into the Stonewall Enterprise area. Now, you're a good 35, 40 minutes away from that becoming an issue there. This area, let's look at all of this that is under this tornado-warned area here in Jasper County as we look at this. And this is southern Jasper County. Let's look at roads and go over where this is and who should be concerned about this. And this does take in half of Lake Edens. If you're watching us from Lake Edens, middle ways of Lake Edens due south is involved in this tornado warning. And then, of course, here is the courthouse at Paulding and all of this area right along here. And in this area through here, without a doubt, the rural route. Be careful, pay attention. If you got a neighbor, wake them up if you live in that area here in southern Jasper County. The worst of the storm has not reached you yet in Jasper County. This is the front edge of this as it's coming out of Smith County across here. This is the front edge of the storm, and again, where it will be reaching in the next few moments. Southern Lauderdale County, of course, here, Jasper County. Here's Jasper General Hospital. It's raining extremely hard there, all the way up to Lewin, but you're not in that tornado-warned area. It's going to be south of you at that point. Let's go down and look at this. All of this will affect you later. As you can see, this is moving northeasterly. Let's put this into motion of how the storm is doing. You go from Baton Rouge, and it's almost a northeast line to Meridian, Mississippi. It just has not reached Meridian just yet. We're going to hit play. And as you can tell, taking that path, so we're going to be getting this storm here in just a little bit. Early in the morning, we're at 417 this morning. And if you're just waking up, the sleep out of your eye and hearing my voice for the first time this morning, we are under a tornado warning south of the Meridian area in Jasper County, also Lauderdale County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45. So we have roughly 27 minutes remaining on this severe thunderstorm warning, and I expect this to fade away in a minute. That's some of the worst rain I've walked through in quite some time. It was heavy. Definitely umbrella weather. Now, let's look at what's going on over here. Our friends in Newton County. This is and this storm way worse here in Scott County, this moving into Newton County. And again, nothing has been listed for that. Let's get into Scott County of what we've got going on here in this corner here. Now, this is going to be I-20. This is the Welcome Center as you're coming back toward the Meridian area from Jackson. This is the eastbound lane here. And that's going to start right around the Welcome Center, just a few feet down the road from there. This is Highway 501 south of I-20, and it's going to be rough all the way to the Smith County line. Look at that. We've got this lightning popping. Let's see, that was a strike 5 minutes ago at 4:13, 4:14. Very active at 4:15. That was 3 minutes ago. And on the leading edge of the storm, 60 seconds ago, we had a lightning bolt actually hit something here right at the Scott-Newton County line. All right, along 501, right here at the county line. And as you'll look at this is going to be headed directly for the Newton area. Severe storm as it comes across. It will be in Newton in 18 minutes. As you'll see, this complete line headed that way, and then to Hickory in 27 minutes. So let's back out and look at this. As it comes across here, we just got a new line here with this. So it's building intensity. It will go through the downtown, the southern end of Newton, and then over by the Veterans Cemetery, out by the Red Goat, and then make its way toward Lauderdale County, and it will head toward the Collinsville area eventually. Let's look at this new one that we got. It will be in Newton in 12 minutes. Now, again, with this is just a storm. There is nothing issued with it, but it would not shock me in the least for the National Weather Service to fire off something associated with this storm also. Hickory, you'll have this particular storm in 21 minutes, and Chunky will get the storm in about 28 minutes. As we look at it, it's a little bit lower rating than that tornado warning that we've got there. Again, we still got the severe thunderstorm warning that is going on for Lauderdale County in the extreme northern portion of the county, due north of Marion. We've got this tornado warning we're fixing to go back down and look at. As we follow this out of Scott County, if you live in the extreme southeastern corner of Scott County, heads up, watch your weather. If you live in the western side of Newton County, be very weather alert. if you live in the western side of Clark County with this tornado warning that is slowly coming across out of Jasper County, we want you to also be weather aware this morning. Again, we've had no reports of any damage at this point, but we definitely want to take this one serious. I was making sure we had all reports on. All right, let's go down and take a look at what we've got here. All right, here's something that Seminary Collins, although there is not a warning issued, this is a severe thunderstorm warning here that has been issued until 5:15. Brassville, these areas. But when we get this particular one, this means that this has not been a tornado warning issued, but is extremely favorable for this thunderstorm to turn into a tornado warning. When we get this, if you ever watch our broadcast normally and it's red and it looks like this, it's something to take very serious. Let's look at what this says. Now, as we talked about the scale of 1 to 10, the actual tornado warning that we've got up here is like a 2.6. This storm that has not yet been called by the National Weather Service is at a scale of 1 to 10. It's at a 6.7. See the difference that we're looking at? This is a very, very powerful one here. We're getting sheer wind rates with this right now of 69 miles an hour as it comes across. This will be near Carson in 5 minutes. It will reach Dean in 18 minutes, Sunset in 30 minutes, and also that Williamsburg area. And let's dive into this where you can see this. This is going to be Collins, Mississippi. Here's Seminary, Mississippi. It's just west of there. This is going to be Highway 42. Here's Prentiss, Mississippi. If you live anywhere near Prentiss, heads up, be careful. In the Bassfield area, as we look this along Highway 13, it is a severe, severe storm as it makes its way toward Collins. It will cross in between Seminary and Collins if you're watching in that area. All right, we have adjusted the current tornado warning that we have. If we will look here, we're going to go back over and look at this as this comes across. And again, we want our friends in Clark County to be well aware of this. This is going to be at Paulding in 19 minutes. If you live in a mobile home in the Paulding area, anywhere in the southern portion of Jasper County, we need you in a safe space now. If you have a friend that lives one, this is 4 in the morning. The majority of people are asleep, not aware that anything's going on. I'm fortunate to be woke up by a bunch of alarms that we have set up on this, or I'd sleep through it as this stuff happens. Serious storm. Let's look at where this is headed as radar updated on this. Again, this went up just a tad to a 2.7. Again, we're looking at 2.7, an actual warning, and then we've got one here that has the potential to turn into a warning at a 6.9, 6.7 rather. This scale of 1 to 10 of what's the worst. All right, here's our new lines that we've just gotten from the National Weather Service. Let me close this of where this is. This is Highway 528. Due south of Highway 528 is going to be County Road 23. Just due south of there, where Piney Grove Church is on County Road 23. Do you live near that? This will follow down Terry Cemetery. That's on County Road 2333 in southern Jasper County. This will follow along across County Road 21 toward the county line near Highway 537, and then go due east right through Heidelberg there at 528 to the county line, and then go due north and then take in. And again, right here is Lake Edens. Lake Edens, you're right in the middle of this. Right in, if you were to divide the lake in half, the southern portion of Lake Edens under this tornado warning. And again, here's the path of this, and it is, as you can see, the eye of this will cross right across Lake Edens. Both of these storms, as it makes their folk, we'll get the storm in 11 minutes, and then Paulding in 19 minutes, the second leg of this. Now, what is all this pink stuff? These pink areas are hail that is starting to develop in these areas. Not a lot, but we have seen a little bit as you look back over the areas here. All right, let's go back up and look at this, what we've got. Again, this is the severe thunderstorm warning for Lauderdale County is weakened for Lauderdale County. Any moment they will take Lauderdale County out of this, and it is minute what's going on in Kemper County. And again, this goes up to the Chicken Shack just north of there to Sukanachi there at the Putwood Yard, where it used to be along Highway 45, right before you would get to the boy, this is really getting bad. It's gone also. The roadside park is gone. This is right before you get to Electric Mills. Things that go away in Kemper County. But right there at that wood yard where it crosses that old portable dirt road there. And then we follow this back down to Lauderdale County. This is going to be just north of the Ralph Morgan Rodeo Arena. This is Highway 045 and where it will come back in to Highway 45. Not much going on there. That is dying down. That is the good news. This was issued until 4:45. We do expect that to end. We now have thunderstorms that have entered Newton County. There are no warnings for Newton County yet. We have a lot of storms that are moving in there. Let's get the attention of anybody that lives in the Bethel area. Newton, this storm will be there in 13 minutes. And if you'll see these little white dots, this is the timeline, the one closest to this circle here, starting out with Pilgrim Grove right there. And then you just follow right along with the different towns, like Newton showing up at 13 minutes from the center of this storm to there, over to Hickory in 23 minutes, and then finally over to Chunky in 31 minutes from one side of the county to the other. Is what we've got. Severe storms moving there. As we move back down into Smith County and watch this, this will be at Roberts in 24 minutes and Pilgrim Grove right there within 29 minutes as it makes its way. Some serious stuff there. All right. Heavy rain with this. And again, as we look at this, this is going to be due south of there. Highway 501 in Smith County and into Scott County. That is horrendous this morning. All right, we follow this down and we watch all this, what's going down here, this back building. We now have another tornado warning of what we've been watching here just a few moments ago that we talked about. This now has been upgraded to a new tornado warning. Let's take a look at what we have here. Tornado warning has been issued until 5:30 for central Covington, western Jones, and central Jefferson Davis counties. This tornado will be near Lone Star around 4:30. It will be near Collins and Seminary around 4:35. That's not but about 6 to 7 minutes. It will be at Hebron at 4:55 and reach Laurel and Ellisville between 5 and 5:05 a.m. as we look at this. Now, let's look at our storms, our storm tracks, and what we are on this. Now, again, this has winds of 81 miles an hour associated with the center of this tornado warning as it heads straight toward Collins. Collins, y'all need to be weather aware here. 81 mile an hour shear winds involved with this storm. As we put it on a scale of 1 to 10 of how bad this is over the halfway mark. This is now a 6.8 probability of it being able to do damage to someone. Now, I don't want anyone to waste time. If you live in this area, seek shelter immediately. This is nothing to play with. As we look at this tornado warning here, now this can still do damage, but look at the difference in between these two storms. This is a lot more serious than this one. As we look here, this is a 2.7 compared to a 6.8. Can this still do damage? Absolutely. We want everybody to take all of this very serious. All right, let's zoom in on this one here of who needs to seek shelter immediately. If you live in Jones County and you live west of there towards Seminary, Collins, waste no time this morning. The center of this is headed toward Collins and we'll be there in 20 minutes. This is Prentice, Mississippi. If you remember when we were first talking about this, that watch box was bigger. It's been more defined now, more hail showing up with this, and the eye of this tornado is sitting right on top of Highway 35 just due north of Bassfield. Now, Bassfield, you are in this, moving to the northeast on top of Highway 35 northeasterly towards Collins, Mississippi, crossing Highway 84 as it goes into Collins there on Highway 49. Here's Seminary, and Seminary, you're not out of the woods on this at all. This is a very southern defined in the county there from Collins to Seminary. Dangerous. Now, this also takes in the cities of Ellisville and Soso, Mississippi. And we've had damage in Soso, Mississippi before as well. So we want y'all to be safe as well as we look at this. More of this back building all the way. Look at this as you get down to Baton Rouge. This is New Iberia, Louisiana, where all this stuff begins. It comes across Zachary into Jackson, Louisiana, then crossing into Mississippi near Macomb, moving northeasterly toward the Meridian area as we watch this. Now, We are showing showers now in western side of Clark County. This is well-defined small box here with a tornado warning that is still active for Jasper County. Could we get damage? Absolutely. As always, if you're waking up and you see something weather-wise, please post it in the comments so others can see this and know what you're seeing in your area, so they'll be well aware of it. And by all means, seek shelter on that. What about houses? Absolutely. I mentioned mobile homes a minute ago being unsafe. Anything that wind can get under. And let's start there. If you've got a house that's built up above ground, when I lived in Scuba, most people knew that white house I had. It was above ground. It was a wood frame house, and it's set up, was bricked underneath. If you can get wind under one, it makes it even worse. Is a brick home safe? Absolutely not. There is nothing that will protect you home-wise from a tornado. As we've been talking about these safe rooms and getting a tornado shelter, well worth the investment. We live in an area to where this is not going to be one time that this happens and never again. It is nearly, 7, 8, 9 times a year. Mississippi has become the new Dixie Alley. We have them way too often. The Precast Group here in the Meridian area sells tornado shelters. Go out and see the Smiths and talk to them about that. They can show you exactly what would benefit you and your family, the size that you've got. Now, if you look, Lauderdale County now clear of the severe thunderstorm warning that has faded away. We've got storms back building in Newton. I-20 from Lawrence all the way over to Forest. Kind of hard to see this morning. Be careful. A tornado warning still remaining for southern Jasper County until 5 a.m. So we've got roughly 28 minutes remaining on this tornado warning here in the Heidelberg area, approaching the Pachuta area. And you'll look at this storm as it's moving northeasterly. Stonewall Enterprise is going to get very wet from this storm. We'll see if this still holds out. It's got a little bit of a hook there that they're still monitoring. This, by all means, is the worst that we've got on radar at this point as we get to these areas here west of Laurel. Again, affected by this, central Covington, western Jones, and central Jefferson Davis counties under tornado warnings until 5:30 is what they've put this at, 5:30. So we've got, that's not changing. Let me make sure I read that right. Yeah, until 5:30. They adjusted that just a few moments ago. This is, again, approaching the Collins area. It will eventually make its way through Jasper and then possibly into Clark County. Hopefully this thing will die down and it won't be as strong as it was. Let's see what this was. We had a portion of a roof that's been peeled off on Highway 90, Old Highway 24 is what that is telling us at this location down here. This was a confirmed tornado by emergency management in Marion County, Mississippi. That was late yesterday that we did have some, and then we had some more damage there. Law enforcement, streets and intersections flooded in the Columbia area right along in here. So this has been dumping a lot of rain as it makes its way towards our area. All right, we're going to go up and make our way down. I have not talked about our friends in Starkville. We have not talked about what's going on in Louisville in the last little bit. We sadly, and we hadn't had a chance to, I've asked for information on this. We had a night ago, we had a loss of life here on Highway 14. A mobile home caught fire, and we had someone lose their life in a fire up here just a day ago, and I have not been able to get all the information associated with that fire. Keep that family in your prayers as we look at this on radar this morning. Louisville getting a lot of rain here. This is Knox Pater. This is Highway 15 as we go toward Lake Teocata into Louisville. And it's going to be real heavy rain right here on 15 before you get to Lake Teocata as you get inside there around the jail and 25 northeasterly up toward Mississippi State. We're going to have a lot more rain there. Just to the west of Walmart, rain moving in as you'll see this. Here's Highway 25. This is going to be 14 coming into Louisville toward the Walmart area there. As you get out here near J&S and then over by the church here, the rain is east now of Shiloh Baptist Church, moving toward the downtown area. We follow this down and we look at Edinburgh, just north of the Exxon gas station there, where Edinburgh is, moving north through Leake County up toward Highway 25. Some showers there. Highway 16, as you head out of Edinburgh from the gas station there and where the Dollar General is, you're going to get over here on 16 near Pearl River. It is heavy going toward the casino there on Highway 16. Doesn't quite make it to the casino just yet, but we got a line of thunderstorms. The center of this thing is out by New Testament Holiness Church, Harmony Cemetery. Look at that. Boy. New Harmony Road is just flooding in that area. This is going to be Blackjack Road is where this is. Here's Pearl River. And as you'll see this coming into the county here, Highway 488, a lot of rain there also. But this is just kind of making its way northward there toward the Louisville area. And, of course, right there at Arlington, we got some good showers there just to the northwest of downtown Philly. As we look at DeKalb, not a lot going on there. Macon, those areas there, not a lot happening there. A few showers around Kentucky Fried Chicken. DeKalb, due north, Highway 39, some showers. Nothing too serious there as we get into Lauderdale County. Let me turn this off where it's a little bit more clear. A lot of rain coming down in the Marion area right now. All along there at the four-way stop where Subway is. A lot of rain. Nothing serious as we move to this area here in Newton County. Anything west of Hickory, you're going to be in a lot of torrential rain this morning all the way to Forest. Be careful there. Again, the last that we've got puts this storm in downtown Newton within 11 minutes, arriving at 446 as you'll look at this. And then this crosses I-20 right across there. This is Highway 80. This is going to be Highway 503. It's going to cross 15 and 503. We're showing a little bit of hail here due north of Chunky. Now, as we come down, flooding. Let's look at Clark County, and we'll go back and look at this tornado warning that we also have. Enterprise, raining cats and dogs, as they say in the Enterprise area this morning as we turn this on. And this will come across. We start here at Clarkdale Community, and this will move right toward you. What's coming out of here with this tornado warning here is moving northeasterly and will head in that direction of Enterprise, Stonewall, and up by the Clarkdale area. There is nothing issued. I want to be very clear about that. There's nothing issued for Clark County at this point. Rose Hill, as we cross back right here, here's Rose Hill sitting right there. We got lightning all around it. Now, tornado warnings are due south of you. You're okay. It's just a lot of rain there in Rose Hill. As we move down and follow this, look how heavy this is from Enterprise there at that Dollar General down Highway 11. All the way to Pachuta, just a mile or so outside of Pachuta, it'll lighten up. But all along this area, this is going to take in Long's Fish Camp, downtown Stonewall there, around the Piggly Wiggly Wet, starting to get that rain back over now at Clarko. That area, just that northwestern corner of Clark right now getting flooded upon. As we go back into Jasper County, Paulding, right here at the courthouse in Paulding. Look at this. This is the worst rain that we've got that is in Jasper County right now. And this tornado warning is now due north of the city limits of Heidelberg. Goes right up to the steps of the courthouse there in Jasper County. Now, we've got some 22 minutes remaining on this tornado warning. The warned area that we've got, and let's just zoom in on this. This is Highway 528 there at the intersection of County Road 31 is where this tornado warning begins here. Right there. Following due south, here's 528, County Road 31, and we'll cross County Road 8 at the county line, move right across. Here's the city limits of Heidelberg. The warned area north of downtown Heidelberg is going to be at the intersection of 528 and Maple Avenue. If you're familiar with that and live in that area, it moves due east across 11 to the county line there. If you go north out of Heidelberg on Highway 503, just look at this. Look at the, now we're getting a lot more. This pink on radar is going to indicate hail. Look at that. If you follow Highway 503, that's some serious weather in there. All right, the leading edge of this storm is indicating that it is getting ready to move into Clark County here in a minute. Now, as I say that, the storm they have not issued any warnings for this, as we'll show this of where this storm is going to be headed. It will reach Beatrice, the leading edge of this, coming out of Jasper County in 4 minutes, will be in Stonewall in 12 minutes, Sable within 22 minutes, and then reach Middleton in 26 minutes. And Middleton puts it right there at Mathis Peaches around the Clarkdale area, right along in there as it moves northeasterly, and it would eventually make its way out toward Wynot, right here by the Collinsville ball field if it stays on its current path. Now again, tornado warning may not be extended, but we do have a lot of rain that's going to be moving into Clark County as we follow this out of here. Heidelberg, just north of you, you still need to be weather alert. Let's look at this as we're starting now to show this downtown Newton here, this storm here. And eventually, as you'll see here, as we see the storm reaching Chamberville and Lauderdale County within 22 minutes. Cicalina, you'll have the storm in 24 minutes, and then reaching Collinsville within 24 minutes is where this is coming out of Newton area. Heavy storms, no warnings associated with that yet, but it is making its way. We just want everybody that is in southeastern Jasper County to be weather alert. You have a tornado warning, and if you live on the western side of Clark County, you need to be getting up, getting ready to watch this. As Francie said that it is already bad there in Enterprise Stonewall area. It is raining hard. A little bit worse if you live right here at Lake Edens. It is some kind of ferocious. The eye of this thing crossing over Lake Edens at this point, making its way toward Clark County. So use caution. As you'll see here, this western side of this is shaping up. You get here to Highway 503 east to the county line is still concerned for Jasper County. 503 eastward to Lake Edens, and we're going to put this due north there at Highway 35 where it crosses 59. Still should have some concerns as it makes its way easterly out of there. Now, we still have this tornado warning that is occurring here, starting to show some signs of weakness in this as well, as we have this tornado warning still listed again for our Western Jones, Central Jefferson, Davis County, and also Covington until 5:30 this morning as we watch this tornado warning. Let's see what we've had here. This was coming out of Jones County here, and this was 8:49, and this was associated with yesterday with the damage of that storm that came through. They leave these up for a little while. If you remember, we had some rough weather early yesterday afternoon as well as this stuff came across. Sometimes it's hard to remember which day we're in, and it kind of all runs together when you're watching this in these early morning hours. Good morning. If this is your first time to join us, we're glad that you chose us for your safety when it comes to weather. It's 4:42. Some 42 minutes ago, all of these storms started popping off. Now, let me show you this also. Let's go to radar and turn this off. Here's what we're looking at overall. If you see anything yellow and you're watching me, you live anywhere near these cities, from Alexandria here to just east of Lufkin, Texas, Alexandria, Louisiana, as it comes across, all of this yellow is a tornado watch area, and that's going to go through 10 a.m. this morning. Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden. See if it gets over into Georgia a little bit here. Rome, Georgia, Bremen, Georgia, Somerville. You're also included in the same storm system as it comes out of Louisiana. Now, we've got a few of these storms. What is this green? Philadelphia, Noxubee County, Winston County, and also into Noxubee. We have an aerial flood watch for these areas that includes Ridgeland, Carthage, Walnut Grove, Philadelphia, and all those areas, Louisville. You're included in that. No changes in here. Now, what is this deep red? When we look at that, that is a flash flood warning, and that is until 7 a.m. this morning that we've got back in this area here. All right, let's turn radar back on. I think that's the same. Yeah, that's the same thing we looked at a moment ago. This gives you a bird's eye view of where everything is. Collins, Ellisville, Seminary, Heidelberg area. And you'll see here, here's Clark County, here's Jasper County. Right up here is going to be Rose Hill. It's due south of Rose Hill if you live there. You're asking about Clarkdale area. Yes, it's gonna eventually make its way through there. There is no tornado warning for that area. As Kaylee is saying, is horrible in Clarkdale area. Let's turn the radar back on. As you see, right there is going to be the Clarkdale area, County Road 350 as it goes into there. It is bad there. It's worse on this northern end. Again, this is Lake Edens, which will make its way into Clark County as it moves out of there. Lightning strike hit. Let's look at this around Clarkdale, and we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. Nope. Fake one. It just it showed an outline of the old one there. All right, let's get back into Clarkdale. Updated 444. Okay. Right along in here, just east of there at 444, 60 seconds ago. Here sits the Clarkdale High School, just due east of there. You'll look at this. Here's Highway 45, South Anderson Road, and the pine trees just off of South Anderson. Lightning strike to the ground there. Here's Mathis Peaches. Here's Clarkdale High School. The right here is going to be the Super Red and also the pharmacy, that area. Pouring rain in that area there. Be careful all the way up to, here's Greg's place right here. It's going to be just south of reaching his place. Here's Plant Sweat. All right, as we sitting right on top of Clarkdale right now. This is going to be affecting reaching Clef Williams in 12 minutes, and will reach Vimville 17 minutes, and then Alamucha within 17 minutes. But as you can tell, this storm sitting right on top of the Clarkdale area now will cross Highway 19 over near the Boy Scouts and move into Alabama after it gets done there. But still wreaking a lot of havoc there with all these storms there. Still a tornado warning here. The worst of the rain right there at Lake Edens this morning as it comes across and makes its way toward Clark County. Now, we got a lot of lightning, a lot of rain there around Rose Hill as it goes into Clark County. Let's look at the Enterprise area, what's happening there. Here's Highway 514. If you're on Highway 45, just due north of Quitman from Highway 514, right there on Highway 45. Terry's place is here, all the way back across 514 into Enterprise. Heavy rain. There's County Road 364, 514 as it comes across. Here's 513 as we see that. There's a coffee pot. Great place to eat as you come down and you follow this. That's County Road 354. The East Cemetery lot, Church Street, pouring rain. Then we get out here. This is County Road 353. And then this is going to take us, we had somebody ask about County Road 350 just a moment ago. And, of course, County Road 350 is going to take you right toward Clarkdale High School. 350 does. It takes you right up to the back door. Follow that road, and it takes you right to Clarkdale there. Lots of rain, nothing serious there at this point. We are getting a lot of lightning hits there on 514. That was some 9 minutes ago. All right, let's go back down. This is starting to weaken here at 447. This tornado warning still in effect for 13 more minutes, but it is the threat is all but gone. The weather that caused all this is ahead of this now and dumping the rain into Clark County. It doesn't appear that they're going to fire this off and continue it into Clark County. It doesn't appear that way. I've had to eat my words before, but that's what we're looking at this point. Now, we still have the tornado warning until 5:30 around Seminary, due west of Laurel, Mississippi. All right, let's move over here back to Smith County and look at what we've got. Newton dumping rain. We're getting it now in Lauderdale County here. The western side of Smith County is having a storm move across, and we'll be at Sandpoint in 18 minutes, make it to Clear Springs right here at the county line within 25 minutes is what we've got. Again, this is Smith County, Silverina, Raleigh, Taylorsville, lots of rain in your area. We have a storm that is moving associated with where this tornado warning is here around Mont Olive, due north of Collins. It will move through the Taylorsville area and then into Jasper County. Weather is not over by any means. We just got a special weather statement. Let's read what the National Weather Service as to tell us on this. Strong thunderstorm will impact northwestern Jasper, Newton, northeastern Simpson, southeastern Scott, and northwestern Lauderdale counties through about 5:45. So we've got at least an hour from now to follow these storms as they come across. At 4:48, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm along a line extending from near Forest to Rockport. The movement was east at 50 miles an hour. That's fast. 50 miles an hour is moving as we follow the storm. Gusts of 50 miles an hour, penny-size hail, as we've been seeing that pink show up on radar. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs, blow around unsecured objects. Minor hail damage to vegetation is possible. As we look at the areas that are going to be affected by these thunderstorms, we're showing that we've got Forest, Mendenhall, Conahatta. We've got White Oak. And that's around 4:40, 4:55. Burns, Martinville around 5. Stratton around 5:05. The Decatur, Lawrence area around 5:10. Newton will have this around 5:15. So you got 20 minutes before there. Duffy, and then Collinsville will get this around 5:30, and Martin 5:30 as we watch this system come across these multiple counties as you'll look at this. Wow. Heavy rain now, Clark County. Y'all pay attention. Looks like they're going to hold on to this for another 9 minutes here, this tornado warning that was issued for southern Jasper County. They have not let off of that. Let's look at what we have. And again, that special weather statement, it flooded here a while ago, roughly an hour ago, and it moved across, and now it's weakened as it's gotten into Alabama. But boy, that was a storm come through there earlier. We are showing, let's start at the top here and go down. Winston County looking a whole lot better. It's now due east of Noxapater, due east of Louisville, along Highway 514, making its way into Noxubee County. Northern Noxubee County, Crawford area has got to get some showers. No thunderstorms or anything that are going to fire off any warnings for those areas. Now around Philadelphia, let's follow this out of here. If you follow, here's Highway 515, and you follow 485 and 21. 21 is going to be rough, treacherous this morning. If you're traveling south out of Philadelphia on Highway 21 toward Forest, be careful. If you could, wait a little while. That is very, very tough to travel, two-lane road there. Good morning. Let's move this way. I can see some of these. Bailey, good morning. I'm in the Louisville area there. Let's see. We see Amanda, Terrible, and Enterprise. Watching those. All right. Let's get in here, and as we follow that Highway 21, you'll see that it goes all the way to Forest there. Lightening up from there. But when we get south of there, Smith County, lots of storms there that are going to be making their way due east into Jasper County. This is the Lewin area where we've had a lot of weather bad before. Just look at Newton. We didn't pay much of attention to that when we came by that county. Now, this is going to start right at the county line in Newton. Let's turn on some location so you can see this. Here's Lawrence, Mississippi, the post office there, Highway 80. As you're coming in on 20 there, this is going to be mile marker. What is this, 90-something to 105 right along in there? Tough all the way in Turkey Creek up to Decatur heavy. More rain there at Turkey Creek right now. Lazy Boy, if you're traveling out of there on Highway 15, look at the rain that we've got there. Here's the high school, Decatur. 503, but 15 is tough weather there. As you get into the downtown area, all around Walmart, it's serious rain that we've got there. Here's the airport. This is going to be the Veterans Cemetery, and all the way over here to the Red Goat. Tough rain. It's entering the Hickory area as we look at this, due south on Highway 515, almost all the way down to right there at the country corner there in Garland, almost there. Now, as we come across to Lauderdale County, we're starting to see some changes there of heavy rain. Clarkdale pouring rain there. Heavy, rough rain there. Around the Meridian Airport, it's heavy rain. As we go west of there and you get to the Split, always be careful. They've done a lot better job there on that road there lately. Not near as many wrecks. They've done some repairs, and it's done well. Highway 45, all the way to the county line at Clark County. It's going to pick up right before Clarkdale there. Heavy rain there across Lauderdale County. And as you show the overview of what we got here in Lauderdale County, here's the jail. This is going to be Stuckey's Bridge. This is Dunn's Fall. This is Plant Sweat Valley Road. This is Greg's place here. Here's the Evangel Temple. You go past it, and Dollar General past Greg's establishment, and then you get into the Clarkdale area where it's dumping rain. Look at that. Starting to show heavier activity now around the Girl Scouts, making its way out towards Southeast High School, Lakeview Golf Course, right along in there. A lot of rain there at Long Creek Ball Field there at the Volunteer Fire Department as we head south. And look at that rain there. Now we just, it's wanting to produce a little thunderstorm right along here. Yeah, there we go. This is going to be approaching Vinville within 8 minutes. We'll meet Alamooch in 16 minutes. Kewanee, you'll have this storm in 21 minutes. And then Cuba, Alabama, as it crosses line on into Dove, and Ward, Alabama, within 30 minutes as we look at this. You're asking about the 0 area. Heavy rain there. Nothing else about that. We'll get back to Forest here in just a minute or two and take a look at that as well. Here's Clarkdale. Here's the storm as it moves across, and it will cross 19 out by southeast as it comes across. But the 0 area, Long Creek area, heavy rain moving into the area. Downtown Meridian, just moderate to heavy showers, even out to the country store, out to Owls. Last chance tobacco there as you're heading out of Meridian there on 493 and up to the split at 495. Southern end of Lauderdale County getting a whole lot worse weather than the northern end of the county. As you'll see now, the Collinsville area, y'all be prepared as we have storms that are moving north of I-20 in Newton County into Lauderdale County now. Here's Decatur Highway 503 moving east of there. Now, as we move down again, this is sitting on that rural route. Mount Horeb Road, right there at Greg's. We got a storm sitting on top of Mount Horeb as it makes its way northeasterly across Lauderdale County and will affect the southeast area, anywhere out by Southeast High School. And again, here's Alamooch, the Volunteer Fire Department, where it sits. It's going to head directly from that area across the 0 Causeyville area. Tons and tons of rain. As we get into Clark County, again, we don't have any warnings for either one of these counties right now, but anywhere starting at Dunn's Falls, coming across Enterprise, Stonewall, rough, Highway 514, it's rough weather in there. Still, the worst that we're watching there is the line right there at Clarkdale. That's the worst that we have. Rain approaching downtown Quitman. It hasn't made it there yet. It's a few miles away from the co-op, and it'll be there in a few moments. We do have some showers that are coming down, but nothing too serious there at Harmony. We still have this tornado warning. They're going to hold on to it for another 3 minutes. Lake Eden still getting a lot of rain. And as you zoom in on this, Highway 503 and County Road 39 being the worst of weather that we've got in Jasper County now as it watches that tornado warning. We still have a tornado warning here that does take in Jones Junior College. If you're in there, the Soso area, Collins, Mississippi, Seminary, you still have a tornado warning until 5:30 this morning as we look back at that until 5:30. Again, when this originally was fired off by the National Weather Service, it was a little bit worse than this tornado warning that we had here. As we look back at this is not going to be over once these die down. We have this line all the way back to Baton Rouge. Y'all look at this. It started at New Iberia, and we've talked about this right around Baton Rouge there at the bridge. It moves northeasterly into Mississippi through Macomb and comes right across to the Laurel area, through Jasper, Smith County, and into the Lauderdale County area as we watch that closely. Now, I had someone want to know about the Forest area of what's going on here. Now, let's look here at Forest. Not much going on around Forest and Lake at this point. Northeasterly from there, entering Newton County storms. And we got a little bit of a storm right here at Highway 35 due south of I-20. Nothing to be concerned about at all as we look at this. As you hit it right here, and we're gonna let's see here, hit play so you can show how these storms are moving. Now, is there going to be more rain in Forest? It absolutely is. You'll have some more coming here before long. As we watch this, we still watch this storm right here as it makes its way. Let me look at on the rural route and show y'all how this is doing here in Lauderdale County of where the storm is sitting. Here's the Girl Scouts right here. Here's Causeyville Road. The eye of the storm is sitting right on Price Road, Branning Price Road, Alice Irby Road, right there at Causeyville Road. That's the eye of the storm. Is moving to the northeast and will cross Highway 19. This is Southeast High School. It's going to be the red Red Barn right here, Old Highway 19. And here's the Boy Scouts, Camp Bonacci right in there. That's the eye of it, crossing 19. Really, really close there, and it will head out near Alamucci, cross Highway 496 into Alabama. It will be at the intersection of 80 and Highway 17, as it east of Cuba is where this is headed at this point. Now, we hadn't picked up any hail in Lauderdale County at this point as we look at all of this. No hail that we're picking up in Decatur at this point, but lots and lots of rain there. Philadelphia getting moderate, heavy rain now. Use caution in those areas. Enterprise still pouring rain. We should be getting an update on this any second here. Let's do a refresh and see if they've taken that away at the stroke of midnight. Still showing. Let's turn that on. It may take them to the end of the 30 seconds there. Yeah, this is going to be expiring here any second. We'll give it to 5:01 for them to take that away. And they just did, as you'll see that. Tornado warning now has expired for Jasper County. We've just got heavy rain there. We're still watching this tornado warning around Collins, Ellisville, west of Laurel, Mississippi. All right, let's look at the big picture here. If you're in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a lot of rain coming down in that area as well. Now, as you'll look at the eastern side, look at all of this. If you're anywhere in Tennessee, and I know we have a lot of folks that watch from Tennessee, and we never get really too deep in those areas, but we do have a lot of rain scattered from there to Kentucky, all the way up to Charleston or Richmond and those areas there. Our big concern this morning is all this. It looks like, let's see, this severe thunderstorm warning. They're going to keep the severe thunderstorm warning until 5:15 for that Ellisville area, and then the tornado warning will go an additional 15 minutes. All right, let's start at the top here. Louisville looks good. We've got showers that are making their way toward Macon, Mississippi. The Crawford area, if you're going to be up in that way, here's Highway 15. This is going to be right here at the split, Brooksville, right there where the Mennonite Bakery is. A lot of rain in that area. Here's Crawford here as you go through the tunnel, the back way into Mississippi State. Now, here in Winston County, if you're traveling from Louisville over to Macon this morning, we got a lot of rain there at the Bethel Baptist Church, Highway 14 into the Macon area. And if you're traveling this as well as County Road 490, Highway 490 there, off of 14, it's going to be heavy there. Now, you get to Sugarlock. Few showers this morning around Sugarlock, nothing major there. Kemper County, Scuba looks good. DeKalb looks good. We've got minor showers, but enough to cause an accident. Y'all watch all of that. Roads are slick this morning as we follow this. As we get into Neshoba County, Highway 19, Tucker, it is raining cats and dogs. We also see the Highway 16 in between Fords, the Dollar General there back over to the city limits there on Highway 16. It's heavy rain there. We'll follow this as it crosses Highway 15 also. Right around there, around Neshoba Baptist, we got a lot of showers. Now we get into Newton County, and it gets more activity. As we see this is going to be the Conahatta Post Office area, pouring rain there all the way up to Union. Highway 15, Turkey Creek, rain, but not as heavy it is due east of Decatur. As we look at this, we follow this is going to be right here. This is going to be the Chunky Duffy Road, Daniel Lake, those areas there. Tons and tons of rain this morning. As we follow that, we got some storms that are going to be moving out of Smith County, as you'll see here. Now, this will be at Bartlett in 18 minutes, Tanglewood in 20 minutes, and make its way to Lawrence, there where the post office is, in about 30 minutes, roughly, if we were to put a timeline on that. Another storm west of Raleigh that's making its way as well, the same path. Now, let's go back into Lauderdale County, what we've got. Here on the rural route, now again, this southern portion of Lauderdale County, anything south of I-20 getting a lot of rain in Lauderdale County right now. We'll go out Highway 19. Here's Southeast High School. As you get past right here, let's look at where all this is. This is Vinville, Causeville Road, pouring rain. sitting right on top of Highway 19, headed directly toward the Boy Scouts. We got a storm that will be at Alamucha in 7 minutes, and that's going to be right there. That's how long it's going to take to come across to reach there. The storm, on a scale of 1 to 10 of thunderstorms, is a 3 out of a 10. Still packing a punch as it comes across. Camp Bonacci will have this pass over here in a few minutes there. Look at the lightning that is striking. Now, these white ones are those that are in the air. You'll see that popping in the air. All of these that are gold, or if you want to call those yellow, whichever color you want to call it, that's going to be ground to lightning strikes where it actually hit something. And let's see, when that was at 5 a.m. 5 minutes ago that it actually struck. 5:04. That was 60 seconds ago. We had a lightning strike. And here's Alamucha Volunteer Fire Department. And it's popping in those areas. It's the leading edge as it comes across. All around southeast, we've got hits at 5:02, these lightning strikes. Here's the Girl Scouts. It's got a new name. I just hadn't been able to wrap my head around it yet. The Veterans Place, as it's got a new outlook on life. Clarkdale's still raining, not as heavy as it was area. This area right here is what passed through Clarkdale just a little bit ago. Look at the lightning that we've had hit in those areas there. Fisher Road, boy, as you're coming through there, right there is going to be Pleasant Hill Church, Zero Road, Fisher Road, all of those areas. Look at that. C.A. Pickard Road. Now, as you get near Acock Road, it gets a little bit worse coming out of there. Fisher Road, the rain is going to intensify, especially when you get over here near Causeyville, all of this area here. Here's Highway 19. And again, where you can get on Causeyville. Look at that as we get that update of rain as it's moving across. As we get to right there, there's the Causeyville ball field. This will be approaching Wyandotte Motor Sports Park here in the next few minutes. If it hadn't woke Rodney up yet, it will in just a moment or two. Lightning, thunder in the Cicalina area there. Bunch of you, all right. Center Hill, rain, but nothing like it's going on down here. Clarkdale. If you were to start, as we look at this, is Highway 19. Here is Walmart on Highway 19. You get to in between the Rock House Owls and getting to MCC. It increases as you get to downtown. Here's the airport, this area right in there. It's a lot of rain back over past the Pilot gas station. Lightens up a little bit as you get near Walmart there. And the further south you go out by the Ag Center 19 when you get to southeast where it really picks up there. Now, let's look at the county as a whole here as you're looking at all of this south here. Here's the Evangel Temple. Here's Greg's and the Dollar General right here, and then here sits Clarkdale. If you'll notice, it's heavy. Now, this is dangerous, treacherous territory through here as you go near Valley Road. 2-lane, hard to see. It's windy. Y'all know that. Right there's Plant Sweat, or where it used to be. Everything's turning into where it used to be, isn't it? Things getting tore down and moved, but we got a lot of rain in there. Now, I want to mention this also out here around Freeman Tractor. We do have some showers, heavy rain there, Highway 494. Heavy rain approaching the Collinsville area in the south end of Oak Tibby. Not too bad. We don't have any warnings yet. We have the special weather statement that does take in all the way up to Chet's, West Lauderdale High School and Elementary, and out to Battlefield. Special weather statement saying that thunderstorms are coming. Let's look at this around Clarkdale. As you get in here, here's 145, and this is going to be Mitchell Bottom Road. Y'all all know where that is. This area also has had severe weather. Not as bad as right here. This is always the area that gets anything, isn't it? All around Clarkdale. Here's Valley Road as all of these points take you into Clarkdale. Be careful in all that. Mathis Peaches area, pouring rain. Now, again, we've been tied up on this, and let me double check, make sure I hadn't got a text on any accidents or anything. I don't want to overlook anything by at this. Some things we'll have to look into that happened overnight. Nothing major that I hadn't been sending anything. All right, let's see here. Now, this is Clark County is what we're looking at. Y'all watch this weather here. Now, the tornado warning has expired that was affecting Jasper County. That is the good news. This is still hanging on here by a thread, this tornado warning that was issued down around Laurel. It is a smaller area, and we're going to look at that in just a second. Taylorsville, you got a thunderstorm around you. Now, the big picture, let's look at this, back out and look at this, what we've got here. This is going to be with us for several hours, these thunderstorms. One thing we haven't looked at that is important, let's go over and take a look at some outages and see where we are on weather this morning. Let's pull this up where you can see what I'm seeing here as we get into power outages. And boy, we're looking good here. EMEPA, the Martin area is going to be the biggest that we're showing on EMEPA. If you live out in the Martin area, it's roughly about 10 people. Let's zoom in on this. This is extreme northern Lauderdale County is where this is. Trying to get a road name. Brown Road, Bird Donor Road. This is going to be right behind West Lauderdale High School. That Bird Donor Road, we're almost at the Kemper County line at the extreme. Here's Martin. That's Bird Donor. So that's what you got there. Pine Forest, here's West Lauderdale here. Bird Donor Road leads you right up to that county line. About 10 people there without power. As we back out, there's one other person down in Clark County on this service is out. Here's Sykes. Here's Quitman due east. That's not bad. And we're right along there. It's going to be in the Sykes community. Well, I spoke too soon, didn't I? Just had a update. We've got several people now in Clark County without power. This is going to be, let's follow this out of here. This is Highway 18 due east of Quitman. Four folks right along in those areas there. And the huge power outage that we just got, Sykes community, as we follow this northward. County Road 451 area without power here in Clark County. Roughly 100 people on this line here, 104 people around Middleton this morning without power there in Clark County. That's the big picture there as we look at Clark County. And as you can tell, well, we're fixing to get some more here. You see all that? We're getting more and more. This is going to update in just a second. Spreading quickly there. Let's see if we can get a refresh look at this. 600 people without power now as we get into this. That was a most likely that just went black. If you're in there, if you're watching us there, that lost the power. Let me scroll down here. As we follow all this, Sykes community out to the Hinton area, Pine Ridge area, and eastern Clark County, Middleton, Energy, all of y'all without power now. And again, give them a minute. This was most likely a substation, a wire right around in there. And what causes that? The bad part that happens sometimes, if you're at home in the dark, it's tough. But these guys that go out and chase all of this stuff, it can be down a right of way that there's water knee deep, and you just can't get a vehicle to, and you have to go a long way in to get to it. We'll find out where all that happened. Let's take a look at Mississippi Power. What's going on with Mississippi Power? Let's do a refresh here of what is going on with them. Nothing much showing up with them. Not in the Meridian area. As you go back down in here, this is where that tornado warning is, this area down in here. Columbia. We've had a lot of power outages around Prentice, as we'll see that. We have roughly 150 people there without power. That's going to be the Mount Carmel Prentice area there. Shady Grove, a couple people. Stringer, Mississippi, a few folks without power for the most part. And we got something right here in the Newton area there, Lake. Small power outage, one customer out there also. All right, let's see here. Let's go back to radar and look at what we've got. All right, let's recap this tornado warning that they're going to keep for another, 17 minutes is what they're going to let this run out. That's what we've got so far. Laurel, just west of you, Highway 84, back over to Seminary. Let's look at our lines here. Soso, Mississippi, still in this tornado warning. It's northwest of Ellisville, Mississippi, and due east of Seminary. Highway 84, and let's just see what the map calls this. Leaf River, Mississippi. Hebron, Mississippi is what they're going to call this, along Highway 588 as we get into here. And again, this is still affecting east central Covington and Jones County, more so in the Jones County area. Jones County getting the worst of that. Let's look at this. This is going to be the Hebron area. Morning Star Church, tornado warning still for you as we look at this in Jones County. Here's Highway 29. This goes over to Highway 28, crossing 84, that tornado warned area. Here's Ellisville, it's just northwest of there, and south of Taylorsville. Now, Heidelberg area, and I want you to look at this. We got a severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued. Let's go over that. Clark County, you are under this severe thunderstorm warning now. The National Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Jasper, Smith, Clark, and Jones County until 6:15. Boy, it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? At 5:12, a few moments ago, the severe thunderstorm was located near Hebron, where we were talking about a moment ago, or 11 miles west of Laurel, moving east at 35 miles an hour. 60-mile-an-hour gust radar indicated this will be near Laurel by 5:15. It'll be on top of Laurel now. Heidelberg around 5:40 and reach the Barnett and Goodwater community there in Clark County by 5:55. Let's look at what we've got. Heavy rain equipment. This will take in Pachuta. These areas here. Let's look at all the areas that we've got. This is Highway 18. This is Highway 512. Basically there from Pachuta at the intersection where the road splits down to the south end of the county, going over to Heidelberg and taking in this northern portion north of Laurel. Here's what you've got. Here's the eye of this severe thunderstorm that is making its way and eventually will be near Pachuta. Near Stringer, we'll move through Vernon area in 18 minutes, Acme, and then Waldrop in 25 minutes is what we've got with that. The center of this thing, the eye of this, of what I'm reading here, is about 4 miles. The eye of this storm is 4 miles wide, is what we're looking at on it, and being the worst of this in the storm. Again, it didn't quite make it. Y'all finally get a break there at Lake Edens. It's south of you, this severe thunderstorm warning this morning. Eastern Lauderdale County, it's pouring on you. A few minutes remaining on this tornado warning, 14 minutes remaining on that this morning. Newton County, you're getting some showers as well. Still that special weather statement coming in for there. Now let me make sure. Let me check this. Let me check a few things, make sure we're all on the right track. Okay, nothing major in those areas there. Double checking to make sure we hadn't gotten anything new there. And let me refresh this. Okay, let's go back to radar and show you all of this as and we do appreciate everybody telling what they see and where they are. At this point, Ashley was asking about a Meridian. It's the eastern side. It's downtown Meridian at this point, under no threat other than severe, just heavy rain. I wouldn't call it severe, heavy rain. The heavier rain is now due east out by the Ag Center, headed toward Tumsuba, those areas toward Cuba, Alabama, as you'll look right in there. Here's downtown Meridian. It's all east of here and out in the southeast area, the worst of weather there. We're starting to see a break here. Clarkdale, boy, y'all got a break for just a moment there, as we'll see this is coming across Snell, those areas there, a lot of rain, and Clark County. Stonewall getting a break as well. This is going to be that eastern side of Clark County that's getting it. Quickly moving in on the energy area there. Why Not Motorsports Park, pouring down rain now. Mount Horeb Road, where it runs into Zero Road, you're getting some wet stuff there now. We get down into the areas here around Clarko State Park. And as you get into downtown Quitman here, Archusa, we got a lot of rain even out here by Cooper's Chapel on Highway 511, showers there. Not so much there at Jay's Taxidermy. It's heavy, but it lightens up at the landfill, but it's going to make its way toward Manassas and all those areas. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning that was issued, that's going to be right there at the Harmony Baptist Church. If you live at Pachuta, due east to Harmony, and you were to draw a straight line, Clark County to the county line, that's where that severe thunderstorm warning is, back west going into Jasper County. Taylorsville, a lot of rain there. Again, as we look at our latest update on this, this will be near Vernon in 16 minutes and Waldrop in 23 minutes. Here's Heidelberg here. This is Jasper County. This is Lake Edens. And, of course, that's the Paulding Courthouse. It's going to be due south of there. Just due south of there is that thunderstorm warning. And, again, just on by the hair of its chinny chin misses the lake there on County Road 16. Doesn't quite get into Lake Edens there, the severe thunderstorm warning, believe it or not. Very defined tornado warning as we look at this. And, again, they're going to let this go until 5:30. Let's look at this. Here's Laurel right here. Here's Soso, Mississippi. This is almost right now narrowed down to the Soso area, the tornado warning that we have remaining for 10 minutes. Let's look at that. Here's 28, Highway 28, Highway 29, where it intersects there at Soso. You are in this, and then it will go. And let's look at this. This is Highway 84. We'll cross 84 and go down, taking in Big Creek Cemetery. You live anywhere near there, or if you live on Willie Hilburn Road. Willie Hilburn Road, you're still in this tornado warning, and this will cut right across this lake here near Sandhill Church Road. Let me see what area that is, Sandhill, Mississippi. You are in this tornado warning. It will cross over Graves Road. This is a very small area where this thing is. Veterans Memorial Road over to 84 due north up to Soso. 10 minutes remaining on this. It doesn't look like that they will extend this across the Laurel area at this moment. How about that? Whoop. We're back with audio. We're showing this eastern side of Lauderdale County here from southeast out to Highway 19 as you come across Juan out there at the racetrack. That's going to be the worst that we've got in Lauderdale County. Still showing a good bit of rain here in between Kewanee and as you get into Cuba, Alabama. The Simmons Wright store right along in there, that's pretty rough there. The worst we've got in Lauderdale County is the southeastern side of the county out to Causeyville. Now, as we get into Lauderdale, Clark County, Snell, these areas here, right around there, around the Snell Volunteer Fire Department, back over to Energy is going to be pretty tough weather there. Now, as we'll see here, let's look at this. They're still holding on to 5 more minutes worth of a tornado warning there. Clark County, central Clark County, from Pachuta to downtown Quitman, still heavy rain. Now, we've got heavier rain. Let's turn this off where we can see a little bit better. As you'll notice these color schemes here, it's not as bad in Clark County. This in southeastern Lauderdale County, a lot worse. No warning, but again, this eastern side of Lauderdale County is worse than what we've got between Pachuta and Quitman. Snell, this is all a part of this area here, this same cell system. It's on top of Cuba, Alabama now, and this will reach York within 8 minutes and then Livingston within 21 minutes. This system here that's moving out to the northeast, Livingston, y'all get ready for this. It will be in your area before long. Heavy rains as we look back west over there from Newton to Decatur there. No warnings issued with this, but it is certainly coming across there. We do have this thunderstorm warning that they have put out until, I believe it's 6:15. It is. It stretches to 6:15 this morning. Small tornado warning still there west of Laurel around Soso, Mississippi. Now let's look at this storm that's coming across from Soso. It will be at Soso coming out of Collins within 20 minutes. It will reach you by 5:45. Still a severe thunderstorm warning associated with this tornado warning. Here's Laurel, Mississippi, and that's nothing changed. That was from the storm yesterday. Here's Ellisville, all due north of there. Very, very defined, such a small area. And let's just look at that. If you were to look at Soso, this thing is 7 miles. 8 miles from corner to corner, roughly. Roughly 4 miles wide, and we'll call it 8 miles long area there, a tornado warned area there of what we got that's in the actual box as you look at that. So let me clear that out where we can distance to get rid of that. That shows you the distance of what we've got, roughly 8 miles from this corner to this corner, 4 miles wide from Highway 84 to over this area there. Now, this is Jones County. If you're watching us, going, where is it? I can't tell. It's Jones County, and a lot of this is whether you're watching this on YouTube, if you've got this thrown up on your large television where you can see better, or you're watching on an iPad. And sometimes it gets confusing when you're looking at all of that when we zoom in on these areas there. I'm sorry about that audio problem a minute ago. My hand bumped the button over there. Macomb, this is not going to be over after this stops. These, we will have more of these, and when more is fired off, we'll come back and be live to watch all these storm systems as they come across. But more to come, as you can see from Baton Rouge. Still, it's heavy there. Look at that. Even developing back down here from New Albany was showing a few showers around that. It's not bad. But that Baton Rouge area there is going to produce more for our area as it enters Mississippi. All right, let's look at Newton. Let's look at what's going on in Kemper County. We've got a lot of storms now that have that is pushed out of Newton and Neshoba counties into Kemper County. Let's start there and work our way down. As we'll see here, the four-way stop, this is going to be where McDonald's and all this area is here in Macon. It's now east of Highway 45, and again, that Meshulaville area getting wet, Mahana Bridge area there, and Knoxville County getting flooded right now. No warnings for you as we get into Kemper County. Our friends in the DeKalb area, and this is going to stretch out Highway 16 up to Highway 493. From downtown DeKalb to Highway 493, heavy rain taking in Highway 397 here at the split, like you're going to go to Louisville, right in that area there. Here's 397. Kemper Academy, West Kemper sits here as we move out. And again, this is Highway 493-16. And this follows along. And this area there is going to be that New Hope Volunteer Fire Department off of 493. Here sits the coal mine, Damascus. We're getting a lot of rain there at the Volunteer Fire Department around Damascus. No warnings for y'all as we move across. Here's the Cowboy Church on Townsend Road as you make your way toward Porterville, Baca Valley. This area here, not a lot going on there. We got a little bit there at the state line out by the old Neville Mansion. A few showers appearing right there over to Kim Waste as we follow Highway 17 and look at that. Now, east of the Chicken Shack, Baca Valley land, all of that area there getting wet. And as we follow this round, 2 Mile Bottom, not so bad there. It's kind of light rain. Now, when we get these storms, we get into Lauderdale County. Look at this as we get... right there is going to be Tom Bailey Lake and due east there. Let's look at Cuba, Alabama, of what's going on there. Here's Cuba, and of course, here's McElroy Trucking. Right a few hundred yards past the trucking company there, McElroy, is where the eye of this storm is. This will be at Scratch Hill, Bellamy, Alabama. You'll have the storm in 20 minutes more, and then over to Zion Hill in 26 minutes. We put this on a scale of 1 to 10 of how bad as it is. It's at a 3.5. Sitting right there on top of 80. Here's York, and it will move easterly. Here's Livingston. It'll go south of there. But, boy, a lot of lightning and rain there. Alabama 17. We've got tons of rain as we follow this. This is that same system that stretches back into Lauderdale County, Mississippi, there at Highway 496 into Bama as we look at this. Now, we got right on top of Rodney, right there at the racetrack. Look at that, boy. It's flooding. Now, let's look at this. Here's the racetrack. This is Alamucha Wyandotte Road. This area around, if I'm reading that right, that's going to be Ponds Road. Look at that. That is the worst of what we got in Lauderdale County right now. And this is moving northeasterly toward Bama. It won't be in the Mississippi side very much longer as it makes its way there. Now, we have showers if you're in Lauderdale County. The lightest place of rain right now is the southwestern corner over by Dunn's Fall. If you're out by Stuckey's Bridge, those areas not much happening there, up to I-20. North of there now, again, we still have showers out at West Lauderdale. We're flooding now at Battlefield at the Newton-Lauderdale County line. We've got showers around northeast up to Rouse House there in Lauderdale. It's moderate rain as it comes across the lake here at Dalewood. But again, this is pretty tough out here in West Lauderdale. The southeast area there. As we look at the eye of the storm that's headed toward Bama, has crossed the state line now and will be at Ward in 13 minutes and reach Bellamy, Alabama in about 28 minutes, as you'll see that pattern there. Now, I brought this up here. This is Highway 491, House, Mississippi, just south of there. When you cross into, what is it? I call it 50 feet. It's a little bit more than that. When you come out of Lauderdale County, you'll hit Newton County and then Neshoba County. There were Highway 491 up around Battlefield. This is that little bloop area. Here's Highway 491. When you exit off of there, it's going to be heavy rain, and that goes into Kemper County from there. But there's Battlefield Racetrack. If you go past Piggly Wiggly, Tyson's Vet, and you get right there at the county line, it's going to be tough weather. Sitting right there is the Duffy Volunteer Fire Department. We got showers, heavy rain north of there to the county line leading up. Now, look at this in the rural route. Let's start there at Walmart in Newton County. This is a line that's moving northeasterly that will affect Lauderdale County as it drifts across. This is Highway 503. Here's Newton County High right there, and this will stretch down. Here's where you get off the exit, Rose Mobile Homes right there. And you go up Highway 503 the eye of this, if you're looking at this, the center of this, we're going to call it, they just call it Decatur. I'm trying to pick up a road. That's going to be Larry Mathis Road. Right along in there is some of the worst. And this road didn't have a name. That's going to be Streetback. Right along there. All right, as we get that update, it is, as I said, moving toward Lauderdale County as it's moved a few hundred yards there. We're looking at heavy rain south of Lazy Boy now, down to the county line, and then as you get to the Red Goat northeasterly all the way to Duffy into Lauderdale County, we're starting to see showers now move in. Heavier rain there to West Lauderdale High School. Bama, y'all are getting that strong thunderstorm that moved across there. Now, the tornado warning has expired. Isn't that good news? The only thing that we have left at this moment is going to be this severe thunderstorm warning. We'll ride this out and watch this a little bit more. I'm not going to cut this short because it's still flooding, whether they have got a storm listed or not. Cuba, Alabama. Tiffany, how are you doing? I hope everything's okay for you there in Cuba. But that is as you'll look at all that area there, that is rough. That's what's come through these counties here, reaching y'all now. Kathy, good morning. Good to see you there. As we'll see, Caitlin, good to see you too. I was seeing if we had any comments. 491 off 19 Neshoba County. That's what we were looking at right there. Heavy rain. Nothing to worry about. No warnings for Carthage, Brandy. Here's Carthage here. Most of that rain is past you now. Here's Carthage sitting here. Here's Walnut Grove, and that's Neshoba County. Leake County looks good right now. Really the best of all that we've got out there. And I need another cup of coffee too, Robin. I agree with you. Mine got cold somehow. Greg ain't here. I'll have to track him down. All right, let's see here. Yeah, and there is a lot of areas, and sometimes it is confusing when you're sitting here going, well, there's no warning, but boy, I sure can't hear my windows rattle. That does happen from time to time. All right, no other big questions on that. All right, we'll scroll down. Let's go back and look at our power outages. We hadn't done that in a few moments here. Let's go to the storm outlet here. Let me do a refresh on this, make sure we got the absolute most. We have gotten a few folks back on. We're down to 319 is what it's looking like. We've got 10 here in this northern portion of Martin area. That's been pretty steady. And then as we cross into, this was at 600 at one point over here, 592. So we're looking at roughly 300 that's going to be in this area from Sykes to Middleton. Again, it is the rural route. It's going to take a few minutes. These guys get their pants on to get out there and dig into this as the storm permits them to get out for safety reasons of what they've got going on. But the Middleton, Energy over to Pine Ridge area and Sykes community in Clark County, that's eastern Clark County, major power outages as we look at this. We look south of there, Waynesboro, all that looks good. All right, and as we look at Mississippi Power, let's do a refresh there. Nothing major. We've got a few small outages in Marion there. As you'll see, that's one. We've got one up probably right there on Highway 39. Nothing major there. And let me do this while we're just on the subject of power outages. Let's look at Southern Pine and Central Electric, of what we've got going on with that. Here's Philadelphia. There's a lot of power outages if you're watching us from the Philadelphia area. Kosciuszko, look at this. Due north of Philadelphia there, we got about 30 people that are out there. Carthage, Leake County, major power outages as we see right around Lena, 100 people. In the northern portion of the county, we've got more if you combine all of this together. But it's been some power outages there, and you get back over here around the Jackson area, Highway 25, Koch, Mississippi, those areas. Here's Ross Barnett Reservoir. We've got a few folks in there without power as those storms come across there as well. As you get into Scott County, we're going to call that somewhere around, if you include all this, we've got a little less than 50. Newton County, we've got about 12 people that are on this service here. All right, let's take a look here. The Newton area, we got a lot. Well, this is a bunch down here around Bay Springs without power this morning. And these storms, look at this. Boom, 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 all over here around Brandon, Bay Springs area. Right, that's a major one right here. 542 around County Road 537, County Road 8, those areas there. That's a heap of it. Taylorsville to the east of you, several people. But look at this area here. Here's McGee. About 200 people right there in that little swatch, and another 90 people near Hot Coffee, Mississippi. That's a new name for me. Here's Collins. This is where we had all those tornado warnings earlier in this area there, and it did have some wind cutting across there, as you'll see here. That's that warned area that we had a minute ago, and we do have power outages dealing with that. Let's get back over to our radar map now and see what we've got. Again, what we've got at this point as we pull back into radar this morning, we have one warning that is left. Probably not going to be the end of all this. All of this yellow area, as you're watching this, is a tornado watch through 10 a.m., which means conditions are favorable for a tornado to develop at any given time. And we're watching that closely with these storms here that could fire off anything else. At this point, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be in this area right here. This is all that we've got left around the Heidelberg area. Equipment, y'all get ready. You've got another storm system coming for you out of this. This is until 6:15. Severe thunderstorm for southeastern Jasper, southwestern Clark, or northwestern Jones counties. Also, it's got 60-mile-an-hour gusty winds involved with this. Now, as you can see, the original storm, and it's sitting right on top of Heidelberg, is where this is, moving toward downtown Quitman. They've adjusted that area a little bit there. It will be near Valsburg in 10 minutes, reach Barnett in 16, Harmony in 23 minutes, in the Elwood area in 26 minutes. Just below that, this is got 69 miles. If you were to, in the clouds above the storm, the winds with it are associated to be somewhere around 69 miles an hour. And again, as you look at this path moving from Heidelberg toward Quitman, both of these, the DeSoto community. If you live in DeSoto, you need to know that some heavy storms are going to be coming your way. A scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this thunderstorm? Just barely under a 3, which means it's going to have a little bit of wind. Not likely for this the shear winds to touch down with this. Not likely, but it could. We've seen stranger things happen in this world. This will be in Harmony in 24 minutes, Hale in 26 minutes. Heidelberg, this is right on you. It'll be there within 5 minutes as we look at this. Worst of the rain around 528. Highway 528, look at that. That's where that is. County Road 8 there. Jasper County is what we're talking about where these storms are. Severe thunderstorm warning. And it takes in Pachuta and doesn't make it to Quitman. This gold area, and let me do this to show you. Look at the hail that is falling in there. This gold outline here is the severe thunderstorm warning as east of Soso and north of Laurel. Does take in Sandersville there in Jones County. Mostly this storm, and this is right where it's sitting, right there. It's in Heidelberg, but it's moving northeasterly. Pachuta, you'll be affected by this, and Quitman also. Shibuya should be okay. You'll get rain, but the eye of this as it comes across will focus on downtown Quitman. I have not gotten any damage reports from anywhere at this point, which is great news. Alden said he got woke up by the rain. It has been enough to wake anyone up with this, so to speak, there. All of this pink, what you're seeing here on radar under this yellow, is where we have had hail. As you'll see here, even in Lauderdale County, we got a little bit of hail there. This was out in the Wynot area. Sure hope no race cars got any of that. And I say that jokingly, but y'all know you make payments on cars. It's tough for something that you pay so much for to get hail damage on them. We definitely don't want that. All right, let's look at this special weather statement. This is going to run 2 minutes. This is going to be running out, not worth repeating with that because that special weather statement about those storms is fading away. That is the biggest concern that we've got right now severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15 Clark and Jasper counties. Now, as you'll look back here, all of these red boxes, let me show you what that is. That is aerial flood watches is what we've got. We're watching very closely there. No other warnings have been fired off with that. We're showing that around Birmingham also. All right, let's turn back on radar. All right, let me do this. I want to do that before. Let's put up these damaging winds. Let's look at the winds before we go back to actual radar. Look at the wind that has come through here, even through Scuba. As Newton County was one big wind bucket. Look at that. Portions of Lauderdale, the majority of Lauderdale County was covered in it. York, Alabama, look at all of that. That was a booger bear right there with that wind. Here's County Road, this is 17. Here's Highway 80, 28. Look at that wind. If you're in that area there, pay attention to that. Clark County, a lot of wind in it as well. And the northern portion of Jones County. Right here, this is outside of Shibuya. Look at the wind of this that is approaching. This is County Road 210. Now, this is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Waynesboro. Yeah, this is Waynesboro, right at the county line here. Powell Cemetery, Concord Cemetery. And then when you get into County Road 210, right into Clark County, that's a lot of wind that's associated with that little blob there. And it just showing the same pattern of what we had, the storm here, will be at Sandersville, right there, within about 14 minutes with this rain. All right, let's go in and turn off our damaging wind. As you look at that's about 1 mile wide is what we're looking at, and with that being winds of about 68 miles an hour. Shear winds. Doesn't mean that's on the ground. I don't want that to be interpreted wrong there. That shear wind right at 69 miles an hour. All right, let's damaging wind. We've got that off. We want to leave the hail on. And let's go back and turn radar on now where we can all see where these thunderstorms are. Now, as we look at the big picture, heavy rain coming down in Scuba, Mississippi. Now, Highway 45, anything north of Lauderdale on Highway 45 into Kemper County, all the way to the Noxubee County line is going to be nothing but hard rain. Drive slower. I'd wait 30 minutes if you can wait going into Kemper County. Lauderdale County looking good at this point. The southwestern corner showing a little bit when we look at that. York, Alabama, Livingston, Alabama is some of the worst weather that we're indicating here in Bama, starting at Lisbon, going up to Livingston. And boy, if the lightning strikes around York, Alabama, this storm will be at Demopolis in 24 minutes. Y'all pay close attention. Anywhere east of Cuba, Highway 80, up around Livingston, we've got storms down to Lisbon, Alabama. As we get back into the Mississippi side of things, let's just look across here. Union getting a lot of rain. Highway 15 toward Philadelphia. Be careful on that road as you drop from Union to Decatur on Highway 15 also. Now, you're going to have heavier rain as you get into I-20 area. From Forest all the way to downtown Meridian. As you're coming across this, once you get to Newton, it will get worse to Lauderdale County up to Chunky. Here's the Veteran Cemetery. It's going to pick up right there at Walmart as you come across Veteran Cemetery. As you get here to the Red Goat into Lauderdale County, rough weather. If you're traveling, if you're anywhere here on Highway 503 going into Hickory, use caution. Now, let's get back down here and look at this. This has been what we've got on radar being the worst of what we've got. These storms right here, Heidelberg area, look at that. That's a lot of rain coming down. This is a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15 that was issued for Clark and also Jasper counties around Heidelberg. Let's zoom in on here. Here's Highway 503. This is going to be 59, I-59. Here's 503 at the intersection there at Highway 39, Salem Cemetery. This is County Road 39 here, and this is just sitting right on top of that. This will move toward Clark County and be in DeSoto within 21 minutes, and Quitman in 22. Harmony will get it first there around the church there in about 13 minutes. Now this one, as we look at this, the shear winds involved with this in the air of about 81. Now they've canceled it for Jasper County and left it to Clark County now until 6:15. This one is a little bit more serious of a storm as we look at this. Let's look at this, what's going on in Clark County as it comes across. Right there, we got 70, right at 69, we'll call it their shear winds as you were to look at this. This is going to be right on top of County Road 250, where it intersects with County Road 241. That's where the eye of this storm is, and then some serious wind involved in that right there. Those normally you could see in the past, although we've had tree damage, power outages associated. When we get these red circles like this, usually they will have some power outages associated with this because it is such a powerful storm as it moves in. Now, here is the severe thunderstorm. All right, they've updated this. All right, we now have a tornado warning. The national, and that's what I'm talking about. That red circle, that's the eye of that tornado that we're looking at. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for Clark County. You need to seek shelter now until 6:30. We've got 30 minutes remaining on this. Located over Goodwater, 13 miles southwest of Quitman. Tornado warning there, flying debris, dangerous storm will reach Quitman by 5:55. All right, you need to start waking up people because this is, as I was talking about, this sheer wind right here, this little storm right here at County Road 250. I have, any time that these appear on radar, they are very serious there. This is County Road 250, the eye of this tornado as it comes across. Some form, some way, County Road 250 as it goes into the county there. This will head across the county directly toward Jay's Taxidermy, just south of the Quitman area. But now, that's the eye. As you click this, let me show you how this works. See how this fans out? Anywhere in this fanned area can be damaged. Now this takes in all the way up to the co-op. This will go out just south of where Clarko is, and it fans down to Highway 45 there. This right here is going to be the Carmichael area. We could see damage in anywhere in here. Now again, this is radar indicated, but as I put that but on there, I want y'all to pay attention to this area here. I don't want anybody lagging on this. This is serious. As I watch these many times, we don't want to underestimate this. I don't want to scare anybody, but I also do not want to underestimate this. Enough to fire off this to tell us that it's some serious wind involved with this. May never touch down. But normally we have something happen in those areas when we have that pop up on there. This is the southwest corner. This is going to be in the path of this Harmony Baptist Church. Here's Jay's Taxidermy. The eye of this floating right along here. Let's just follow this of where we are. Now, this is coming out of Jasper County. This picks up at County Road 250 right there at 241. If you're in that area, seek shelter immediately. Wake somebody up if they live in that area. This is early Saturday morning. Hadn't quite made it to 6 a.m. There's a lot of folks that sleep late on Saturdays. Fairview Church area, County Road 280, you need to be in your safe space now. Don't wait on me. Get there. Harmony up to Highway 18 as we follow this. And we'll put this. Here is Shibuda. Shibuda doesn't make it into this. This is going to be north of Shibuda. Let's look at where this crosses Shibuda. Here's High Street. It's going to be right across it from, whoa, that shook the building. Chestnut Street. It cuts across Shibuda area there and over to East Street. Anything north of there, anything south of there, you're okay. Tornado warned area north of there to just shy of reaching the co-op. Now, we haven't done our outline of what we've got with this, and I want to do that of the warned area from one corner of the county who needs to be concerned there in Clark County of what we've got. Tornado warning if you're just waking up listening to us. We have a tornado warning as you look at the big picture here. Here's the county. This is going to be the southeastern side of Clark County, including the city of Quitman to nearly Shibuda. And let's look at our guidelines of where this cuts across and who needs to pay attention here. Harmony Baptist Church over also to Pleasant Hill Baptist Church. You're in this tornado warned area. Jay's Taxidermy taking in all of downtown Quitman to the co-op to where the intersection is at Highway 513 coming out of downtown Quitman. Here it is. Here's North Archusa where 145 intersects with 513 is where the tornado warned area crosses. It will go across Highway 45, not quite making it to Archusa. Let's look at this road where it does. This is going to be County Road 1432 where it crosses, and also County Road 142. Again, here's Clarko. Here's the red line. This will move across the county. Here is Energy. It doesn't make it to Energy or Snell. It's just shy of that. Follows the county line due south all the way back across. Now, as we look at this, the areas that are included will be Carmichael, all this area, Manassas, and also Shiloh area included in this tornado warning. Downtown is what we're paying close attention to, anywhere around Jay's Taxidermy, these areas there, cutting across to where the landfill is. You need to be in your safe space, and downtown Quitman. If you live in those, don't wait on it, get to it. This is where this storm, the eye of the storm, is in the western side of the county there, 555. All right. Increasingly getting a little bit worse there, as we saw that pop up there, right there. This is serious. As we look at this, this is toting about 70-mile-an-hour winds with this in the eye. This moving northeasterly, and will reach Quitman within 16 minutes. Let's look at this second cell that we've got here. 58-mile-an-hour shear winds involved with that. Now, again, the radar, how this stuff works. When we get this was what we were looking at earlier this morning there. This is a little bit more serious of a storm when we see this pop up. This is a very, very potential tornadic activity that will happen. Again, we're showing 58-mile-an-hour shear winds with this leg of this, and on this one here, we're showing it at 70 miles an hour. Now, and then we look at the one here, it also about the same there. Let's look at where this is. This is County Road 280. If you live anywhere near County Road 280, you need to be in your safe space, underneath your safe space, as quickly as you can get there. This is moving northeasterly and will cross County Road 291, the eye of this, crossing 297 and County Road 299. And you'll see this. Here's County Road 280. Right there is Harmony. This is included in that area. This is the eye of this right here at County Road 280. Look at this red line that we're following. This will affect, here's Jay's Taxidermy. It will cross the Covington Cemetery here. Here's 145 as we're looking at. This is a very dangerous storm, and I don't want anyone to miscalculate that. Here is the eye of this, which should affect right out there near the landfill. Now, as I say that, let me hit this button and show you how this works. This is the center of it. This is a tornado warning. Do you see this shaded area? Anywhere in this shaded area is where this tornado, the path of it could affect. And you see how it fans out there. This is Harmony Baptist Church. This is Jay's up to the co-op. Taking in all this out to Manassas is the line that this is taking at this point. This is from point A to right here is roughly 30 minutes. For it to reach from here to here is 30 minutes, roughly. Sometimes now weather gets involved and it gets a little bit worse. But all that being said, we need to be in our safest place that you can be in Clark County at this point. We've got several systems with this that are showing heavy, heavy winds. Now I have not gotten any reports or anything. Matter of fact, let me text the sheriff and. And as you can tell, I'm not good at texting and talking at the same time. That's what I'm doing. Let me get this sent to him. All right, we'll see what response we get from the Sheriff's Department here in a minute. They are very good about as quickly as they can. I'm getting reports here. York, Alabama, rough. What was this? This was 5:30. We did have a report earlier of a structure fire in the Sucalina area. All right, twisting storm, and this is what I just got text to me from my phone as we watch all this, and we'll go back to radar. Twisting storm approaching Quitman High School, capable of producing a tornado approaching Quitman High School. And if you'll see this is what we're watching here. This is a twisting storm. See this storm here? That's what this just texts me. This is downtown Quitman. As it heads toward the city of Quitman. If you live in the city of Quitman, I need you in your safe space absolutely now. This is what we've got right here. This will reach you in 13 minutes. With that being said, again, 69 mile an hour winds with this. I have not gotten reports of damage at this point. It is quite possible that we are going to have some damage with this. We want you to take it very seriously. Let's look at the eyes of this in the direction that it is headed. All right, updated at 6 a.m. That's the very latest that we've got. As we zoom in on this, again, this is County Road 280 is where we got this. This will move northeasterly across County Road 280, cross County Road 291 over to 297, and then over 281, and then this will lead us right toward the city limits of Quitman. Here's Harmony. This is in the path now. If you live there at Harmony, this is in the path of the storm. It follows along 18 into the city limits of Quitman. Here's the school. This will come right across 18 near Mount Zion there to Quitman High School in those areas there. You see that? That's the eye of it. All of this area can be included into a tornado if it were to make a touchdown on that. And we do hope that everybody in Quitman is in their safe space. Wake somebody up. Now look at this. This is increasingly getting worse as we watch this as radar updates. Let me show you here. We're showing 70 mile an hour shear winds approaching Quitman. Right here at Harmony, we've got, let me close that. The intensity of this is very, very strong. This is 58 mile an hour shear winds. Now, I cannot confirm at this point that anything is on the ground. We're going to treat this as the very worst that it could possibly be as we watch this. But as we see this, 3 cells approaching Quitman as it comes into the town. We want everybody to be safe. With that, it's going to reach you within 13 minutes. You've got a few minutes to get prepared. With this being said, let's zoom in and get a little bit. I want everybody to be aware. I want you to wake up anybody that you know that lives in these areas. Don't take it for granted that they know about what's going on. Okay, we had I mentioned a moment ago that we have a possible structure fire in downtown Marion on Sucalina Street. I pronounced that wrong a minute ago. It's in Marion, structure fire there, and Jeremy also confirming that in Quitman. We're getting confused, aren't we? In Marion. As we get more information on that, we will pass that along also. This is a very, very serious storm and needs to be treated as such. I'm sure the EMA is already on top of this. Let me see who else we can reach there as we watch this. All right, we're sending out all of our messages to see what all we get. All right, let's get back to radar here. Again, the eyes of these storm right at the Harmony area is where we are in Clark County, with the center of the storm as it makes its way toward Quitman. Here's Jay's Taxidermy. Let's look at the areas that are affected by this and where you need to be in your safe space. This is Oak Grove Baptist Church, Highway 45, the Chickasawhay River. We follow this up. Highway 45, the DeSoto community, y'all need to be in your safe space as well. We're getting still the winds anywhere from 58 to 70 miles an hour with this. We should have this storm, this tornado in Quitman within 8 minutes. It will reach Davis within 12 minutes, the Chancellor area within 15 minutes, Sykes 21 minutes, and eventually get to the Energy area within 28 minutes of what we're watching here as this comes across here. It's the path that we're taking with this. The shear rate of winds with this associated with the storm guesstimated to be somewhere right around 70 miles an hour as it makes its way across the county. Now, we've got two areas that we're watching here, and again, this is directly headed toward the Quitman area, anywhere 18 there, downtown Quitman area, across these areas. Let's look at this where we got some serious wind at this point. Well, this is County Road 275, just southwest of Quitman. This is going to be American Drive. This is County Road 270. If you're in there, be in your safe space immediately. A lot of wind is approaching. You see that twisting wind? That's what's headed there. Now, as we get on Highway 18, let's look at this roughly of what we've got. From the center of this storm to Quitman approaching is, what is that? 6 miles is what we've got before it reaches that area. 6 miles from here to the high school is 6.1 mile. Once it reaches the Archusa area, almost 7 miles. But to the co-op, we're looking at just less than 6 miles of where this is setting, coming across, making its way toward there. Let me turn that off and clear that out of the way there. That is what we've got. Use extreme caution. We want everybody to wake somebody up. I know I've said that several times, but caution is not the word that we want to get on this. This is one of those more serious situations if we've watched this storm come across. Let's turn off those locations for you to see here. Now, if you live in Stonewall Enterprise, you are fine. This is not going to affect you at all. This is this center portion of Clark County going across to the eastern side there. All right, our last radar update was at 6:06. That is the very latest that is being offered. Still a severe thunderstorm warning that is issued for that, but this is our concern. Here's Quitman. It'll be there in no time at all as it comes across. Lindsay is telling us a structure fire there in Marion was caused by lightning. Do we know how? And I've been on the air. I haven't been able to talk to anyone. Lindsay, do you know the extent of the damage that we had there? And as we watch this, no word back in Clark County. Let me check some more. You've been locked out your phone? That's me. All these numbers. This is going to be right on Highway 45. All right, this is what we got from Clark County. We do not have anything confirmed other than radar. And again, that's what we're paying close attention to this. This is radar indicated as we watch this. Now, there is a difference, and nowhere have we said that we knew that it touched down in Clark County Emergency Management, also confirming that they have no proof of anything other than this being a radar indicated. It's very serious. Regardless, we can still have wind damage even if it doesn't touch down. But there's no confirmation from officials in Clark County that anything has touched down at this point. But with that being said, too, it is still dangerous upon dangerous of what we've got moving across the county of Clark at this time. All right, let me check some more locations there. And what I'm hearing now in Marion, this is a pretty serious fire that we've got going in Marion. All right, let's look at this. This is going to be just south of Quitman Seminary, also bad there. Right here. This is going to reach Chancellor within 5 minutes. We'll be near Sykes in 12 minutes. The Hinton area with 21 minutes, and reach Hurricane Creek area within 26 minutes. Now, with that, right at 70 mile an hour winds associated with this. Here's Quitman. You're still in this tornado warned area. The eye of the storm is showing now as it took a little bit deep southward turn. It's just south of town. Let me back this out and zoom in on this. Here's downtown Quitman. Let me turn on these locations where you can see where all of these things are. Here's the high school, Quitman High School. Here's Archusa. Here's Jay's taxidermy. We mentioned Jay's several times. This is going to be the eye of it. Now, again, this fans out for miles with a tornado and can affect anywhere. The eye of the storm right here. Here's Jay's. Here's the landfill. It's just a few hundred yards past Jay's there, going across there. And let's zoom in on this road. This is Sullers Cemetery. Fallen Creek Baptist Church. That's a different name. Fallen Creek Baptist Church. New Deal Church. And then here's the landfill. This is the eye of the storm as it's crossing over 145 in that direction. I am not by any means giving the clear on any of this back here. We're not ready for that. Downtown Quitman is still under the gun, anywhere from Quitman due south down to Jay's Taxidermy. Be there, get to your safe space at this point. Let me send another text there. Let's see here. We're checking several different areas here as we watch this. Again, as you watch us, make sure that you're in your safe space. Tornado warning for Clark County as we watch this. All right, as we got from the Clark County Sheriff's Department, no reports of damage in Clark County at this point. There is a wreck on I-59, but there are no reports of damage at this point in time in Clark County. That's the good news. Let's hope it remains that way. We still treat this as serious as it can be. One of the worst tornado warnings that we've had issued. This one had a little bit more oomph to it. Now again, radar indicated, as we always follow this stuff, means it's in the air, and at any time that it could drop down. That's why we treat this as carefully as we can. At no point have we had a confirmation that it was on the ground. Now, as I've often said, with this being said, when we get winds of this nature, we get some form of damage. We get power outages. As a matter of fact, let's go back here and take a look at, let's refresh this and see what we've got in Clark County, if there's anything new that is happening here with this. All right, this shows the path of where this started out, right there when that tornado warning first fired off. Do y'all remember that? When we were looking at this in this area here around the Barnett area. We have 300 people without power. We have another 30 that's without power at Goodwater. And this was moving northeasterly from this location toward the city limits of Quitman, if you remember. So we did have wind damage. We'll say that enough to knock out power lines. Now, when we say that, that can be a limb falling off. It could be a whole tree that hit a power line. We don't have any reports of roads closings or anything like that, but we do now have to back up that wind damage did do something to power there. We're looking at roughly 325 people south of Pachuta, this area down in here, that are without power. We've got Quitman here. And let me let that update there. Downtown Quitman, it's all, not that many in the Quitman area, but this was out already here in the energy area from that first round of storms that we had. So as a confirmation to back up, we have had some wind do something here on this side over here, Highway 11 area, south of Pachuta. Got another one without power here. That's not too serious. unless you're that one person without power. Y'all know what I mean by that. Now let's update Mississippi Power. There's portions that have Mississippi Power. Still nothing too serious that we're showing here. A few odds and ends, 2 or 3 that are on the Mississippi Power, 10, 11, and then we've got about 13 people that are on Mississippi Power in the city limits equipment without power. And as we go back over in here, the Shady Grove area, Laurel, we got more people dealing with that. But this is starting to show a pattern of what we had, of where it began and where it is now. Now, let's go back to our tornado warned area. This has moved over now. Let me show you what we've got. The warned area. Downtown Quitman, as we were looking at that just a moment ago, is where the storm was. Downtown Quitman, we give the okay to. Downtown Quitman, you are good. This will still last. This will run until 6:30 this morning. So we've got 16 minutes remaining on this. Now let's look at where this is and who could be in danger. Archusa is where this picks up. Now we have 2 different areas of severe winds that are happening. This is approaching the Manassas area. If you're in Manassas, I want you in your safe space. We have 70-mile-an-hour shear winds included with this one right here. This right here, this is going to be just due east of Cooper's Chapel. And we're also getting 58-mile-an-hour shear winds with this. On a scale of 1 to 10, the probability of this becoming something is a 3. We're at a 3 compared to 3 out of 10. Doesn't mean we can't have damage. We want this to be considered very, very dangerous. Let's look at where this is. This does include the areas that takes in right here at Thedeville. If you live in Carmichael, you're in danger. And if you live in the Manassas area, you're in danger as well. Let's look at where this is located. This is County Road 690 is where this is, and it is approaching 630. 690, 630, and County Road 511. If you live there around Manassas, you need to be in your safe space immediately. As we go here, here's the landfill. Pouring rain, again, from the high school out past across Archusa. But right there at Archusa is where the tornado warning picks up at the intersection of 18 and 511. Right there is where the tornado warning is, moving east. Now, this will affect Chancellor in 2 minutes. It will be at Linton in 6 minutes. West Butler as it crosses over there in 25 minutes. And Pushmataha, Alabama within 25 minutes. This is this bottom leg of this as it comes across there. Let's look at this one here. We hadn't stared at this. This is, again, Cooper's Chapel. If you live right around Cooper's Chapel, you are still under a tornado warning. The leading edge, and you've got more rain coming, but the leading edge of this is just to the east of this, not far there on 511 from Cooper's Chapel. This is going to be sitting right on top of Neal Lane. Do you live there? On Highway 511, seek shelter now, and also over on Linton Road. Now, as this cuts across, this will cross Linton Road and cross, I believe this is County Road 672. Here's Pleasant Hill Cemetery. That's involved in this with this tornado warning as it makes its way toward Highway 18 and then into the Alabama side. Let's look at this. This is... I promise you, my coffee cup just moved from that lightning and thunderbolt just then. Let's zoom in on this and look at this road here. Here's 630, here's 690 there. With this is on the rural route right now. As you look at this is pine trees is where this is right now, or pasture land. I don't know the difference. I don't know that area as closely as I should of being able to visualize it. But right here on the northern end of this is going to be... what road is that? Here's 511, and it's just not going to tell me what that road is right there for whatever reason. Here's 630. This is some form of a road through here, and here's 690. Be careful, be careful. This is 639. This is all in that area there. This is on the rural route as it comes across, headed towards 630, and it is dumping rain there. Highway 511, Manassas, it is moving into your area as we plot this storm. We have roughly, again, as we watch this, roughly 12 minutes remaining on this tornado warning, and we do hope that it expires. But boy, at the rain that is coming down from Laurel all the way across Clark County is catching the heat of the storm as we watch this morning. We cannot urge and stress enough, if you're watching this, to be in your safe space in these areas there. Let me check back for messages of anything. Now, the latest that we've gotten from the Clark County Sheriff's Department is no reports of damage. We do have some power outages in those areas. I have not, let's see. I'm looking for some more locations to get in touch with. All right, nothing new or updated on any of this. So we're looking at this being the best of what is going on. All right, let's pay close attention, y'all. As we give the all clear for the western side of Clark County. If you live in Harmony, you're good. If you live in downtown Quitman, up to the outskirts of town, anywhere from the lake back west across the county there from Archusa, anywhere west of this location, you are safe now. If you live north of Quitman, you are safe here. Here's Archusa. This is going to be over in the Energy area. Energy is out of this and just cuts short of making it to Snell. That is not in the warned area. What we do still have in this area is anything from Archusa, if you live anywhere around where the landfill is, down to Carmichael, over to Shady Grove, even out here to Shiloh. Even though it has not reached Shiloh area yet, you're still in the warned area. Now, if you were to the eye of this thing through the rural route, if you can visualize where the landfill sits, is basically sitting on that in between there and where Cooper's Chapel is, moving northeasterly across the county toward Alabama. Now, let me show you, we've talked about this several times as we hit the shaded area. This is the fanned area of what damage could be done from this. As we show here, this fans out and takes in many, many, many miles across there. Now, what is still be concerned is we just went over these points here. We have another storm here that is going to reach Brewer within 7 minutes. Carmichael, you'll have this within 8 minutes. A pretty good thunderstorm that moves in on top of you. This will be at Junction City by 9 miles, Thedeville and 14 miles, and the Pine Ridge area with within 21 minutes of that. Now, again, as we follow all of this, I want to reiterate, we have had no reports, even in the comments that I've seen, of anybody that says, okay, something struck my home or I have damage. Reports coming in from the Clark County Sheriff's Department, just wind passed through. At this point, no reports of any damage to homes or buildings. There is a wreck on I-59 that the Sheriff's Department is helping out with the Mississippi Highway Patrol. And Highway Patrol has had a busy, busy night. We had a wreck just east of Meridian there around Lost Gap, to where there were 3 cars involved, 2 on the eastbound side and 2 on the westbound side. They have earned their money. Anybody in law enforcement overnight and power companies have earned every penny that they make. Now, as we get this, no changes in the timeline of this. Let's look at our still here. Here's the eye of this thing. Let's turn our locations back on of where the storm is tracking. Again, here's Cooper's Chapel. Here's Manassas, and this is basically on the rural route. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of folks live on the rural route, so we're going to dig deeper into this and dive into radar. Let me move this over. This will be at Linton. Move that over out of the way. It's going to be at Linton in 1 minute, Hinton in 14 minutes, Rock Springs in 20, and then as we get into Alabama there, Riderwood and Pushmataha within 26 minutes as we look at all of that. Now, let's look at the rural route of where we are. This is going to be county. This is Linton Road is where this is, where the eye of it, and it is approaching County Road 440 is what this is approaching. This will cross 440 and make its way just north of Linton Road. And that is not going to give me a name on that road for whatever reason. Here's 18. Sometimes it wants to be ugly, and we'll say it's being ugly there. Let's do a hard refresh here. And this basically is the Linton community of where the eye of this thing is as it moves across. As you'll see here, County Road 415 is in the path of this as it comes right across here. From Linton, as we look at this, here's the Elm Cemetery Linton Road crossing over County Road 440. And again, this is not a named road again. I've got several of those. I'm sure that a lot of you know that this is coming off 18. Neither one of those have a marking on it. As you go, here's County Road 430, and it will cross 430 right here and then make its way toward 18 out by County Road 420 before it reaches the state line. Again, tornado warning for another 5 minutes remaining for Clark County until 6:30 p.m. Now let's back out here and look at all of this of what we got. Here's that line that's been coming from Columbia, and we're still, as we get down in here to Baton Rouge, 2.5 hours ago, we had storms in Baton Rouge, and it's all still building. Look at that, coming in from the Gulf. It gets to about Baton Rouge is where it gets ugly. And so we've got more rain in our future. Now, as we look at the big picture here, let's back out here and look at all of this as we visualize this. As we look up at Winston County, everything's clear in Winston. A few showers in Noxubee County. Kemper, heavier rain, moderate rain. Eastern Neshoba County, we got showers there. Lauderdale County, Newton County, heavy rain. But boy, Jasper County and also Clark County and that northwestern corner there of Wayne County and Jones County is where the worst is. We still have the tornado warning here for Clark County. Quitman is clear. Stonewall, you were clear. In Enterprise area, you were clear. We have roughly 4 minutes remaining on this tornado warning. Now, the good news is, as you're looking here at map, as you can see here, it's thrown off the flags. We're not near getting the winds with that. Justin, it's Saturday, so schools are out. It's easy to get days mixed up. Yeah, but schools are out today. Let's see here. Heavy rain, equipment still there. Jasmine, we're just getting a lot of rain in Lauderdale County. Now let's go back and look at our power outages and see if we got anything updated that's going on with these two systems as we look at Clark County and what has gone on through there. More power in this southern portion here as this thing came across. Again, this is where this thing began over here in the Harmony area, if you'll remember. And we got about 300 people that have lost power in that one. The Goodwater community, we got about 30 people that lost power. And then as we get down here west of Shibuda, we've had some limb or something fall down. This is going to be County Road 210, County Road 250. Right in that area, about 66 people without power there. As we come across, we do show that right here at Sells Prairie, about 6 people without power. And then we get into this big one here, east of Quitman, that happened earlier this morning as these storms first began to be without power. And this is, we work off of, and I say this so that for comfort reasons, generators. Generac, one of the best. We've got several customers that sell those. And your power comes back on within 45 seconds of it going off and stays on. It turns on by itself, turns off. It is one of the best investments that you can make during these storms to where you still have power no matter what happens outside of you. And one thing that we don't get it a lot, should there be an ice storm, you're still warm. You'll have heat and everything. You do the breakdown of this. If you can afford it, make sure to do that. Give us a call. We'll be glad to tell you who you can go speak with that sells these, that can come install it and take care of you to where you don't miss a beat. You're warm and safe and everything rolls on. Very, very important there. Let's look back over here. Not a lot going on any different there that we've got. with Mississippi Power in that area. Now let's go back to radar and look at what we've got. A very defined. This is dwindling down. We have 2 minutes remaining on this tornado warning as we look at this now. For our friends across the state line there, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Choctaw County, Alabama, until 7:15 this morning. Y'all look out, 60-mile-an-hour gusts with this. Radar indicated they did not fire off a tornado warning with this. They're going to let this die down is what that tells us, and will just be a severe thunderstorm warning as this fades out. From Laurel, it's starting to fade a little bit, but boy, this right here, look at this at Shibuda, the rain that we're getting. You follow Highway 45 north to Quitman, it's still heavy, and east of Quitman is where this tornado warned area is still blinking, at least for 2 minutes that we're going to follow before we give the okay on everything. Moderate showers there at Lawrence, Mississippi. Heavier from Newton to Meridian. Once you get on I-23 Meridian, it's a lot of rain through there. Clark County by far getting the worst of weather that we've got anywhere in the area this morning. The further south you go from Quitman, the worse it gets. Enterprise, the all clear, no severe weather there. Still some showers just to barely on the outskirts of Stonewall past the Pig there. Downtown Quitman still getting rain through there. All right, no more reports of what we do have something, and again, I've been tied up and not been able to actually talk to anybody, but we have had something that caught fire in downtown Marion, Mississippi this morning. They got some severe damage there. So far, I got EME Emergency Management Clark County touch base with me. Just reports of a few trees that are down, and that's most likely what has caused all this. Clark County has come out fortunate this morning on this. Okay, we got deputies that are fanning out across Clark County now to make sure that everything is okay. They're checking all the areas, and again, all that they've got is a few trees down at this area. We have an 18-wheeler that has rolled over. We have an accident I-20 at mile marker 158. 18-wheeler on its side, rollover. So be careful there with that. We're going to be doing several things with weather here in a minute as we get all caught up here in a minute with updates. All right, let's refresh this now and see what we got. It looks as though the National Weather Service has let this. It is the all clear now. Only rain left in Clark County. Isn't that wonderful? That is the good news of the morning. Now, we've got heavy rains continuing on this. We're going to see more wrecks. It's tough out there this morning. Again, if you're traveling I-20, mile marker 158, we want you to pay attention to what's going on there. We got an 18-wheeler that is overturned. Officials on the scene there working this accident. We don't know about injuries at this point, but something happened there. This is westbound coming toward Meridian. That is right before you get to the exit that would take you to Marion. This would be in between Russell and the next exit there where Handy Hardware used to be, Southern Pipe is now. All right, we're taking some more. And let me see here when all of this. Authorities were notified roughly about 9 minutes ago on this accident on I-20. With that being said, we've also got an accident on I-59 near Clark County. We've got an accident there and also a fire that's been reported in Marion. We don't have the extent of the damage yet. We do know it was a structure fire somewhere near the post office area right along in there. It was hard to tell. We'll find out more about this here in a few moments as I get in touch with authorities, and we will update you as soon as we can when we find out more about this. For now, we're going to sign off. That kind of takes care of where we are. All warnings are out. We are under a tornado watch until 10 a.m. this morning. We have no severe threats at this point. Choctaw County, Alabama is under a severe thunderstorm warning for a little bit longer. It's going to be, let me check that. Let me hit the button there. I think it's till 7:30, if I remember, if you're watching from Choctaw County. Yes, until 7:15. Severe thunderstorm warning right there for y'all. Right here. And again, it's going to be heavy rain moving in. This did not warrant firing off another tornado warning. Thank goodness that has all ended there. Thank y'all so very much for joining us and trusting us to keep you safe through these weather alerts that happen, and we will be on standby with anything that does come up this morning. It's bright and early. Get some coffee, get a few eggs now, and relax. The worst of the weather's over. Just heavy rain. Don't drive anywhere in Clark County for another 45 minutes to an hour. Let this stuff pass on through before you head out. Be careful. We'll keep you up to date with the very latest here at the Scotty Ray Report. Thank y'all for joining us.